Welcome to our channel. Defining patterns. A pattern is bounded by at least 0.2 trend lines, straight or curved. All patterns have a combination of entry and exit points. Patterns can be continuation patterns or reversal patterns. Patterns are fractal, meaning that they can be seen in any charting. Period, weekly, daily, minute, etc. A pattern is not complete or activated until an actual breakout occurs. The limits of patterns. Keep in mind, some of our human tendencies can be dangerous for investors. See patterns where there aren't any. Believe market law, technical and fundamental, without evidence. Look backwards rather than forward. Stick with original price targets of patterns after conditions have changed. Techniques for trading patterns. Breakouts. Entry stops. Protective stops. Retracements. Common chart patterns. Point 1. Multi-bar patterns. Point 2. Candle S-stick patterns. Point 3. Short-term patterns. The video will cover all patterns that are found in those three common categories. 1. Multi-bar pattern. This pattern will cover all the following: horizontal congestion, double and triple tops, bottoms, rectangles, triangles, symmetrical, ascending and descending, wedges, other, head and shoulders, cup and handle, double top. Characteristics. 2 successive peaks separated by an opposite reversal point. Either rounded or pointed peaks that are usually at roughly the same price, resistance level. Price must break out of middle reversal point. Double bottom. Characteristics. 2 successive troughs separated by a peak. Either rounded or pointed troughs that are usually at roughly the same price, support level. Price must break out of middle peak. Triple top. Characteristics. 3 distinct peaks at roughly the same price level separated by 2 intermittent troughs. Breakout occurs when price exceeds the extreme of the intermittent trough or a trend line connecting those points. Triple bottom. Characteristics. 3 distinct troughs at roughly the same price level separated by 2 intermittent peaks at any level. Breakout occurs when price exceeds the extreme of the intermittent peaks or a trend line connecting those points. Best performance may be after a sustained decline asterisk. An average performance, but watch for failure. Rectangles patterns. Characteristics. Trading range with support and resistance levels bounding price. Action. Slight tilt, similar to horizontal channel. Often has many false breakouts asterisk. Things to consider. Confirm a breakout. Shortfall, often indicator of eventual breakout direction. Best occurrence may be bottom breaking upward asterisk. Symmetrical pattern. Characteristics. Bounded by a downward sloping upper trend line and an upward sloping lower trend line. Each bound is a straight trend line. Prices must touch each bound at least twice. Many false breakouts. Moderately successful in. Performance. Things to consider. Confirm a breakout. Best occurrence may be upward. Breaking out above average for. All patterns asterisk. Ascending pattern characteristics. Bounded by a horizontal upper trend. Line and an upward sloping lower. Trend line. Each bound is a straight. Trend line. Prices can break in either direction. But more commonly upward asterisk. Breakout usually occurs in pattern. About average failure rates, but many. Small false breakouts asterisk. Post-breakout performance average. On upside but above average on. Downside asterisk. Descending pattern characteristics. Bounded by two trend lines, the lower is horizontal and the upper slopes downward. Prices can break in either direction. But most commonly downward asterisk. Above average performance on. Upside break, retracements occur. Often asterisk. Wedge pattern characteristics. Bounded by two trend lines, each headed in the same direction, price. Must touch a trend line at least 5 times, 3 times on one and 2 times on the other, before a breakout. Often occur following a panic. Declining wedge, or bubble. Rising wedge. Performance in both types is below. Average, and retracements are. Very common asterisk. Head and shoulders, top. Characteristics. 3 peaks with center peak higher than the other two. Shoulders should be at approximately the same level and the head higher. Line connecting the two throughs between the peaks is called the neckline. Pattern is only complete on breaking the neckline. Target is the distance from the head to the neckline projected from the neckline. This is a standard pattern for tops and has one of the lowest failure rates. Head and shoulders, bottom, inverse. Characteristics. Inverted but otherwise. Identical to a top pattern. Except not as profitable asterisk. Cup and handle, also, saucer. Characteristics. Pattern consists of a rounded bottom. Not at the bottom, 2 lips at each end, and a handle, similar to a flag. Pattern, from the handle. Pattern is complete with breakout. Above both lips. Often have a throwback. The pattern's performance ranks. About average for bottom patterns asterisk. Two, candlestick pattern, general information about a candlestick. Characteristics. Traditionally, candlestick patterns are reversal patterns, meaning they are used to identify when a trend is ending. Candlestick patterns are often used with longer-term trends, thus upward reversal patterns after a correction in a longer upward trend show the best performance, and vice versa for downward reversal. Patterns in a long downward trend. Be careful not to act on a perceived candle pattern until the pattern has formed and is activated by a breakout in a certain direction. Dodgy. Characteristics. A one-candle pattern formed when the open dot and close are the same price, and the high dot and low are roughly equidistant from the open dot and close. Extremely common. Indicates indecision in the marketplace and dot thus is a possible warning of price change. Harami. Characteristics. A two-candle pattern of a large body of either dot color followed by a small body of the opposite dot color. The second body is completely within dot the body of the large body and is called a spinning top. Although common belief is that the harami is dot a reversal pattern, many report that it has the dot potential of breaking either way. A variation that has a doji instead of a spinning dot top as the second candle has equally average dot performance and random breakout asterisk. Hanging man and hammer. Characteristics. One candle patterns differentiated by the color dot of the body. Each pattern has a high that dot coincides with either the opening or closing dot price. Hanging man, thought to be a continuation dot pattern, actually breaks in either direction dot randomly with a slight upward bias. Its overall dot performance is below average asterisk. Hammers occur relatively frequently but have dot below average performance asterisk. Shooting star and inverted hammer. Characteristics. A one-candle inverted hanging man or hammer dot pattern. Hammers by themselves have white dot bodies and shooting stars have black bodies. As a one-candle pattern, the shooting star has dot average performance. The same is true for the dot single inverted hammer asterisk. Engulfing. Characteristics. A two-bar pattern in which the second bar dot body completely engulfs the first bar body asterisk. A bottom engulfing pattern, with a short black dot body followed by a tall white body, is thought dot to be an upward reversal pattern and actually dot has very good performance on a downward dot breakout in a downward trend asterisk. Dark cloud cover and piercing line. Characteristics. The dark cloud cover is a two-bar pattern where dot the second bar closes higher than the first and dot is black versus white in the first bar. The piercing line is the opposite of the dark dot cloud cover in that the second bar is white and dot lower than the first bar which is black. The dark cloud is thought to be a downward dot reversing pattern. The piercing line pattern is thought to be an dot upward reversing pattern asterisk. Three, short-term pattern, pennant, flag. Characteristics. Pennant and flag patterns are dot variations of the same pattern. These patterns are often preceded by dot a steep, sharp price change, up or dot down, and form a short consolidation dot that appears like a triangle or flag. Generally, the pattern slopes slightly dot in the direction opposite from the dot trend. The breakout in either direction is dot often followed by a move that equals dot the earlier steep, sharp price change dot into the pattern. Gaps. Gap up. Characteristics. Definition: no trading, gap dot at specific prices. Gaps can be considered up or down. Gaps are caused by appreciable changes in supply and demand from one close to the following open. Two-bar reversal button or pipe bottom. Characteristics. 2 bars and occurs at end of a large trend, up or down trend. Ideally, the first bar, in a bottom pattern, closes at the low, and the second bar closes in the upper half of the range. It is more reliable. In weekly data, bar ranges are larger than preceding bar ranges. Action occurs on breakout through second bar. Volatility patterns. Characteristics. Dull activity is known as low volatility. New trends often begin from periods of low volatility. One way to look at volatility is to observe the relationship between price bars. Range is the spread between high and low in a price bar. If a bar is followed by a bar with less range, volatility is declining. The second bar is called a narrow range bar. When this second bar's range is contained within the range of its preceding bar, it is called an inside bar. Narrow range. Characteristics. One low volatility pattern is called a narrow range pattern and consists of a bar with a range narrower than its preceding bars. The graph shows a 4-bar, narrow range pattern, NR4, with 4 bars, the fourth bar having a narrower range than the preceding 3 bars. The breakout occurs on a break above or below the high or low of the narrow range. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, click notification bell.